Hi, I'm Dee Dee, and this is Randy, and we're here at Frederick County Animal Control on Rosemont Avenue, bringing you some adoptable dogs and cats available at your local shelter. And today we're going to have a special show, which is going to be all pit mixes all the time. A lot of times when people come to the shelter, they say that it seems like we have a lot of pit bulls and pit bull types of dogs. So as I always say, it's important to remember that the term pit bull, there's no breed of dog called a pit bull, refers to 15 to 30 different types of dogs, including American Staffordshire Bull Terriers and Bull Terriers and English Bull Terriers and American Bull Terriers and Staffordshire Bull Terriers. And it's all terriers and bulldog mixtures that have become purebreds. And they are used for help on farms with killing rats or handling livestock, and they also have been used for dog fighting, so which is illegal, as you all know. And the dogs that we get here at the shelter are an amalgam of every breed that's popular in the county. So we get a lot of Jack Russells, we get a lot of Beagles, we get a lot of this. In the past month, we've had 3 Great Pyrenees, 2 St. Bernards, several Labs, a Golden Retriever, lots of Beagles, so you never know what will be in the shelter. But the impression that we have a lot of pit bulls comes from 2 things. Number 1, they're popular dogs, so they're in the shelter as much as any other breed. But the second reason is they stay in the shelter longer. And the reason for that is that people are reluctant to get them because they have a reputation, which is weird since, as I said, there are 15 to 30 different breeds that are no different than any other dogs. And you can find out a whole bunch of stuff like that on the National Canine Research Council webpage. They have tons of research debunking every myth you've ever heard about pit bulls. They don't have locking jaws. They, are not more aggressive than any other breed. In fact, the American Temperament Test Society finds them to be more stable as a breed in reaction to scary things like umbrellas opening or people with floppy clown feet. So they make great family pets. Today we're going to introduce you to 5 different pit bull mixes. None of these dogs are purebred, but they are a mixture of big-headed terrier type, short-coated, many times brindle dogs. And this one is Penny. And Penny sits when you ask her to. And she is only a year old, and she is very fit and muscular. She is a good girl. She will jump on you. I don't know if you can see this, but she's, like a little weightlifter. She's very strong and very young, so very biddable too. And that means that she likes people and she wants to do what you ask. She just needs to know what it is. Penny. And also, when we come into this room, rooms dogs haven't been in before, cats as well, and lots of smells of people who have been here, animals who have been here. Penny's color is one of the versions of brindle. It's kind of like tiger stripes and very common in terriers. And the nice thing about pit bulls is that they are, and pit bull mixes, is that they are loyal and hardy as far as protecting you and working with you. But they don't like to be cold, they don't like to be too hot, and they don't like to be alone. So while they may seem like big brave souls, that's when they're with you. When they're alone, they can be, they're really dependent on their people. So they can be more shy and they get lonely. So Penny is in need of a new family, and we are hoping to find her one. If you think that she might make a good match for you or someone that you know, tell us or share her picture to let someone know she's here.
Did you burp?
Nice, Penny.
Oh, no doing that. Hey.
We are back with China, and China is also a puppy. She is 18 months old, and she is fawn-colored, and also a female bully breed mix. And ooh, who smells something that she likes. and also very outgoing, friendly. And these dogs have lots of experience with the family that they were with. And the owners tell us a lot of things about them, such as they'll sit when you ask, whether they've been with kids, whether they've been with other dogs, whether they've lived with cats. And the owners tell us, you know, everything that they can about them. But when a puppy is 18 months old, there is still plenty of time for her to learn any type of lifestyle that you would like for her to enjoy. Pit bulls make good camping companions. They can make good frisbee dogs if they like to play fetch, and that's very individualistic. A lot of terriers love to chase the frisbee, but whether or not they bring it back has to do with how you reinforce it and what their natural inclinations are. Certainly, you can encourage dogs to bring you things depending on how you reinforce it. And if you are interested in having a fetching dog, then just talk to us about that when you come in to choose the dog that you think might make a good match for you. As you can see, China loves to be touched by people, and that bodes well for her future. And as active and energetic as she is, when asked, she can calm right down. So she's a good girl, and we think that she's going to make someone a lovely companion. If you think that China would make a good match for you or someone that you know, let us know, keeping in mind that landlords can be pretty strict about getting big-headed dogs because they, like everyone else, are victims of the hype that these dogs are somehow different than other dogs, and it's just not true. They are dogs. If they're not trained, they are big and they can jump on people and knock them over. If they're allowed to run loose and develop bad habits, they will. But just like any other kind of dog, they do what works for them. So if they are reinforced for being well-behaved, mannerly citizens, then that's what they will be. We are back with Jake, and Jake is a lot more typical of what people think of when they think of American Staffordshire Bull Terrier. We don't know if he's purebred. He certainly could be. Someone has cropped his ears surgically in a style that is fitting for the breed. And there are a lot of people who prefer not to crop their ears because when it's done, it's obviously uncomfortable for the dog. They do heal from it. And certainly if we get dogs that are terrier mixes that have not had that done, then we don't do it because it is a cosmetic thing. There's no medical reason for it. But Jake's ears have been cropped surgically. He also had an operation on his back. He's totally fine now, but he has stitches. So if he's adopted, those will have to be looked over for another couple of days. And Jake is much smaller than the two girls that you just met, but he weighs the same amount. He's a tough guy. Jake is more shy than the girls. So just like every other dog, each individual has different personality and different things that they're good at, different things that they're inclined to do. And Jake is a much more calm dog when he doesn't know you. But once he gets to know you, he has all the energy of a terrier to play and walk and go places and do things. One of the things that people often believe about short-haired dogs is that it's good to get a short-haired dog because the grooming commitment is much less, and that is quite true. All you have to do to groom him is take a damp cloth and rub him down, and he will be clean and ready to go. But people mistakenly think that short-haired dogs don't shed, and that's false. Like every breed of dog, they have to shed their coat, and it doesn't have anything to do with living outside, and it doesn't have anything to do with the temperature, surprisingly. It has to do with how many hours of light there are in a day. So every dog starts shedding when the days start to get longer. And the best thing to do about that is brush them so that the hair comes off when you say, instead of randomly when it just falls out. But certainly a lot of people don't brush short-coated dogs and they just deal with it by vacuuming. So you can handle it either way. Another thing that dogs experience is when they're slightly nervous, they shed a little bit more. So you may notice if you take your short-haired dog or cat to the vet that their hair falls out a little more than normal. And that's just a side effect of being anxious. So Jake is available for adoption, like all of the dogs here at the shelter. And when we are done with today's episodes, you will have met 5 different bully breeds, but we have 11 dogs in the shelter available for adoption, and only 1 of the others is a bully breed. So that means more of the dogs we have in the shelter are not pits or pit type dogs. We're just showing you all of them today so that you can take your pick. We are back with Midnight, and yes, Midnight looks like a lab. And she is part terrier or bully breed as far as we can tell. She is not all lab, so we want to let people know that because they need to know for landlords and homeowners associations and all kinds of organizations that have bought into the hype about the breed, just so that you'll be prepared. She is a little more shy with new people than the other dogs that you met this morning. And Midnight is 2 years old, and she's used to kids. And I will recommend that whenever you come to pick out a dog, that you read their profile, see what their family says about them, but always take it with a grain of salt because you can meet the dog. You can take them out and see how they are with you. She's a leaner. And really does like people, but what you need to know about any dog that you choose is not only what the people who had her before, because her family would say she's used to kids and she's been in a family, but you need to know how the dog is with you. Some dogs are nervous when they see someone wearing a hat. Some dogs are nervous when they see an umbrella open. So you're going to need to know if you have a more resilient, robust dog. She just ate her cookie. And that's one thing also to test, is that when she first came in here, she didn't want to take food from Randy, but she was very affectionate with him and approached him. And then once he sat in the chair and made friends with her, then she was willing to eat. So that is something that you can also check out. There are some dogs that will eat no matter what, and it doesn't necessarily mean they're braver, but dogs that are too nervous to eat in company, it's a sign to let you know that the dog is more sensitive. So Midnight is available for adoption, and as I said, she's 2 years old and has lots of pet experience to share. If you are interested in meeting her, you can come by the shelter and do that. She's a sweetie.
She's got a little tiny head.
Mm-hmm. We are back with Spot, and Spot is a baby pit bull mix. He is mixed with lab, and he has his natural ears, so you can see how big they would naturally be. He is brindle and white, brindle being the tiger stripe, and a very common color in terriers. And Spot looks a lot like the our gang dog, and he is probably going to be, oh gosh, anywhere from 60 pounds. You got to think about the half lab, half pit bull. So pit bulls are short, but they weigh a lot. Labs are a little taller and don't weigh as much. So the range of size that he can be as an adult is pretty variable. Hard to make a guess at this point in his life, but it is obviously easy to see why somebody would fall in love with these little puppies. They're such cute dogs, and because of the short hair, you have the low maintenance, and also because of the age. Yes, it's a lot of work, and having a puppy when they go through the stages of learning not to jump on people, learning not to grab things with their mouths, learning to respect people's hands and faces and your belongings, it's a lot of work. But through that process, the bonding process that humans go through with puppies is pretty strong, and it will mean all that much more to you when he becomes a great citizen that you had a role in that, a big role. Not only just setting the example, but being there for all the mistakes he makes. And surprisingly, since bully breeds have a short coat and they are loyal and sensitive, they can be easy dogs to raise because they very much want to please you. And because they're robust, forgiving dogs, even if you do not have a lot of experience training dogs, they're super forgiving. So we definitely recommend anyone who gets a puppy signs up for a puppy class and has the experience of going through school together with their dog. And puppy classes, a lot of times people say, I know how to train a dog. I've done it so many times in my life. I don't need to go to a class. No, you don't. But the experience that the puppy has from performing in public, from being with strangers, from meeting other dogs and being asked to listen to you, even with such a great distraction right in the room, helps them to understand not just sit when you have a treat in your hand, but sit when you're on the street and other dogs are inviting him to play. We're going to be back after a short break with some adoptable cats for you to see. And if you think Spot might make a good match for someone that you know, pass his picture around because he sure is cute.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy. Oh, and she even talks to it. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Get out and be active. The Frederick County Division of Parks and Recreation offers a variety of recreational opportunities for citizens of all ages and ability. Experience the fun and excitement by visiting our special events, participating in youth activities such as youth sports, cooking classes, or camps. Or get in shape by attending one of our many fitness classes, martial art classes, or dance classes. Whatever you're looking for, we are sure to have it. The Frederick County Division of Parks and Recreation, where Frederick County comes to play.
Welcome back. Our first feline guest is Mamacita, a tiny little black and white 1-year-old cat. She's just a kitten herself, and she was found 2 months ago with a litter of kittens, and a family in Frederick took her in and raised her kittens and found homes for them. And she was found around Andover Circle. And they, when the kittens were all homed, then they brought her into us so that she could get spayed and vaccinated. And this is actually a really big help to the shelter, because if people bring cats with kittens, which we absolutely take, the kittens haven't been vaccinated, they can catch a cold while they're here. We have 80 foster homes, but during the summer, those homes are often all full. So because this family was willing to let her raise the kittens in their home and then bring her in after the kittens had homes, they helped to save that whole litter so that they weren't, not that we couldn't have, but the chances are high that we get so many. And in case you don't know, it's 5,300 a year animals now, and most of them are cats. So we don't find homes for them all, but we certainly do try. So it was a big help for them to be able to find her, let her raise her kittens, find homes for the kittens, and then bring her in when she's all friendly and nice and used to being inside and using a litter box. And I think she's going to make somebody a wonderful pet. She's really tiny, and I think she's always going to stay small because she is a year old, so she's probably reached as tall as she's going to be. And as you can see, she's really grateful to be with a person. And we never know if that's because she was raised by people and got lost, or if she just naturally has a friendly, outgoing personality. But either way, she is ready to make someone a wonderful pet. Once she's spayed and microchipped, then she will go home to her new life, get a rabies shot from her new vet, and then we hope that we never see her again, except in pictures shared by people who adopt, which we do love to receive. So If you think that Mamacita would make a good match for you or someone that you know, let us know or share her picture. We are back with Tank, and Tank is a brown tabby cat. He is somewhere between 6 and 8 years old, and he was found around Bessie Clemson Road, and is a sweetheart. He's making biscuits and purrs when you talk to him and bumps up against you for affection. He is all muscle. This cat is a healthy, fit, he's like a tiger in miniature. And the reason that we know that he is had been someone's pet is that his behavior is just stellar. And one of the things that we tell you all the time is 70% of our lost dogs are reclaimed, but far less than 5% of our lost cats are ever reclaimed. And so it's just really a shame that people don't think to look for their pets right away. And then continue to look, because we have had owners find their cats after 2, 3, even 4 months. Now, many times that's because the cat has a microchip, but oftentimes, like with our little 12-year-old declawed calico named Iverson, she didn't have a microchip, but she was found 4 months later because her owners didn't give up looking. They had sent us a picture. And when she got lost, they knew exactly where they had last seen her. And she had a collar on when she got lost. So this kitty, Tank, we made up the name Tank, as I said, was found near Bessie Clemson and was not wearing any ID. So we are not able to find his owner unless they find us. So we post their pictures on the internet. We post them on Facebook and petfinder.com, and do our best to try to get them back with their family. But if that doesn't happen, as in Tank's case, then we look for a new family for them, which he is fully ready to handle. He's a really nice cat. And for those of you who like big tiger striped cats, he is a good one.
That's not fat either, it's a big cat.
Mm-hmm. This is Dexter, and Dexter was found wearing a blue collar. He was already neutered, and he was found on a road called Glen Rock, and we did not find his owner, so we're looking for a new family for him. He is red tabby and white, and he's only a year old, so he's almost a kitten himself. It is all part of the story that he had a collar and was neutered and was found in a neighborhood and is friendly to people, so he is definitely a lost cat. But if we cannot find the owner, the only choices that we have are to leave him running loose in the neighborhood, which he would probably not fare well, or to find him a new home, which is what we're trying to do. So if you think that beautiful Dexter would make a good match for you or someone that you know, come in and meet him, let us know, or share his picture around. His eyes are exactly the same color as his red tabby, which makes him pretty fancy looking. And as you can see, he's an awfully nice kitten. When we have the shelter full of cats as it is right now, it is harder for these guys to get adopted because they are teenagery. They are not fully trained, yet they are not cute, tiny little kittens, which we have plenty of as well. So they kind of get lost in the middle, and they need to, that's why we feature them on the TV show, so that you can possibly see something special about Dexter that makes him stick in your mind and give him a boost by sharing his picture, or maybe he'll just pull at your heartstrings and make you come in and maybe choose him for yourself.
That sounds pretty good.
Mm-hmm. We are back with Patrick, and Patrick was also a lost cat. He was lost around Oberlin Circle. He is white with brown tabby, and he is between 10 months and 1 year old. He has longer fur than the normal cat. We call these domestic medium hairs. No fancy purpose for that, just to be able to tell them from other cats when we're describing them. He has really pretty markings, including a tiny little brown spot on his chin. And because he is a year old and not neutered yet, He is very interested in doing everything he can possibly do. As you can see, Randy has got to keep him busy. Because like some of the other cats we have here, he's in between the kitten age and the adult age. He's a teenager. So he's going to be a lot of fun to take home, courageous and curious. You know what they say, curiosity killed the cat. So he's going to have to be protected during his curious months until he reaches adulthood safely. And I'm very glad that someone brought him in when they found him, because he certainly acts like he's someone's pet. And with his longer hair and no mats, that means someone probably was sheltering him and caring for him. But they did not come and reclaim him, so he is in need of a new home.
You're beautiful.
We are back with Nala, my favorite cat in the shelter. Nala and Simba were dropped off by someone who did not fill out their profiles, did not give us information about them. So we are not sure what that means, but we kept them in the shelter for 5 days to make sure that there was not any other interested parties. And Nala and Simba are now looking for a new home. There's a couple unique things about Nala. Number one is that she's color-coded blue because she is a lap cat that lets us trim her nails and look in her ears, and she's just very accepting of human handling. Number two is that she's a beautiful color. It's called lynx point, and in her case, because she's orange tabby, it's even more rare than just the regular tabby lynx point. But on top of that, she has blue eyes. So she is a lovely, lovely cat, and sweet to boot. So she is looking for her next home. She and Simba do not have to be adopted together because they didn't seem like they were a bonded pair and needed each other's company. Further, Simba and Nala are opposite genders and couldn't be housed together until one or both of them is neutered, and Simba is being neutered today. So sometimes when animals come in together, we can tell that they would really do better not being separated. But sometimes, like in the case with Nala and Simba, it's not troublesome for them to be apart, and we know it is easier to find a home for one cat at a time than to have two together. However, if you are interested in two, since Nala and Simba came in together, something you might want to think about. If you think that Nala would make a good match for you or someone that you know, perhaps someone that likes Siamese cats or someone that likes ginger cats, she is a combination of both and has a lot to offer someone. So thanks for joining us this week on Pet Pals. We're going to be back next week with some more animals. You just never know what we're going to have. We get 10 to 15 animals every day, and we offer as many of those for adoption as soon as we possibly can. And hopefully you can convince people that you know, and also for yourself. Consider the shelter first. We don't always have what you need, and we understand that you might go somewhere else for the perfect pet for you. But we like you to check the shelter first, because we have a lot of animals people don't realize we have, and so many personalities and offerings that it's hard to imagine you couldn't find a good fit. And you're also saving a homeless animal. So thanks for your support. If you would like to share this episode of Pet Pals, you can do so with the link at the bottom of your screen. You can also go on petfinder.com and find pictures of the animals featured today, as well as many other animals in the shelter. But always remember, they're not all online and they're not all on TV. You gotta come in person if you wanna see everything that we have. Thanks. Hope we see you next time.
If you're 55 or older and looking for a way to get moving and strengthen your body, then join the Frederick Senior Center for its strength training class. This class is offered daily and no pre-registration is required. For just $2 a class, you can develop strength, flexibility, balance, and coordination. Strength training also increases your metabolism, which can help control weight gain and help lower your blood pressure. So stop thinking about it and start exercising today. Classes are offered at the Frederick Senior Center located at 1440 Taney Avenue in Frederick. For more information and class schedules, call 301-600-1605.